Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video we are continuing our gift tag. This is one of my faceted bead art projects and we will be using about 4 feet of string. I am going to be continuing to show you the 1 needle stitch. Now when you are starting new with the 1 needle stitch, what you want to do is find the end of the row that you are working on, which is this one here, and we are going down, so we want this bead right here. So we go in that bead towards our finished rows, and then what we want to do is we want to secure this end because we're going to be using the other end while we are beading. So we are going to go through about, say, 8 or 9 beads. We will start by going up here, and then we will go in the completed row before the one we're working on in one of the center beads, and then going up, and then come back towards the row we're working on. So we're doing a zigzag line, and then up again, and back away from the row we're working on. And now we'll head back towards the way we came from. Then the center bead towards the row we're working on, and down. Away from the row we're working on. And then down one more, back towards the row we're working on, and that should be plenty enough to secure your string. Now we will snip off the excess, and just so you remember, we're working on this row and we secured our string in the row just before it. That's where we secured our string. See, it's good, it's not pulling out. So we are on the outside of our row we're working on. So the next 2 beads we're going to add 1, 2, and they are both going to be green. Open up our beads, take our thread, we add 2 greens to it, and then remember, all our circles include 4 beads, so our string is coming out of here. We've added 2, so we need to go through 2, so we want the side bead of our previous row and the last bead of this row, which our string is coming out of. And there we have our next circle. Now we want to be at the end of our row, so we want to go through the outside bead and the last bead on our row. Alright, there we are. So we've added these 2. We're going to add the last 3 for this row. I don't remember if I mentioned, but I'm using 4 feet of string in this video. Now our string is coming in towards our finished rows, so we want to add by starting here and going 1, 2, 3. And these will all 3 be green beads. And as we've added 3 beads, we need to go through just 1 on our piece, which will be the one that our string is coming out of. last 3 added. Now we want to be over here so that we can add our next row. So we want to go through the 3 beads that we just added. Now our string is coming out on the side that's in towards our row, not out towards the end. So that means the next 3 beads are actually, in this case, because it's a longer pattern. Oh, actually, yes, that's right. Okay, so we're right here where the number 3 is. Our string is coming out in towards our row, so we're going to add 1, 2, 3 beads to our string. And looking at our pattern, we ended here, so we're going to add 1, which is red, 2 green, 3 red. So we need a red, green, red. Now we've added 3 beads, so we need to go through a 4th, which will be the one that our string is coming out of. And now, because of where our string was, we now need to add the 3 beads on the end of our piece, our row we're working on. So we've added these. And we want to add, so we want to take our string and we want to again go through all 3 beads we just added, so we're coming out the last or the end bead. So we can add the 3 beads on the end of this row. That's 1, 2, and 3. And our string is coming in towards our finished rows, so we're going to add these beads in 1, 2, 3. So that will be 2 greens and a red. And there we've added 3 beads, so we want to go through 1 more, and that will be the bead that our string is coming out of. And now we have the end of our row complete. We want to now work our way, so we're at this to continue our row, so we're going to go through the side bead here. Because our string is on this side, we're going to go through the side bead and the bead at the end of our row here. So we go here, and through here. We've added the last 3 beads. Now our string is coming out away from our finished rows, so we're going to add 1, 2, and that will be red, green. We need a red and a green. And as we've added 2, we want to go through 2, so we will go through the side bead and the bead that our string is coming out of. And now we want to be at the end, so we're going to go through the 2 beads we just added. And as we are coming in towards our finished rows, we also want to go through the next side bead. And that prepares us to add our next 2 beads, which we add in the opposite direction. And they will both be green. And we've added 2 beads, so we want to go through 2. We'll go through the end and the side bead. And now we want to go through just the top bead, the first bead we added, so we're in position for our next set of beads. And our string is coming away from our work, so we'll add 1, 2. As you can see, we add them in opposite directions each time. And this next set will also be all green. Okay. Now we added 2, so we want to go through 2, so we go through the side bead and the top bead which our string is coming out of. Now we want to be going through our top, so we go through the 2 beads that we just added. And as we're coming in towards our work, we also want to go through the next side bead. And as we're coming here, so we're going to go 1, 2. And we need a red and a green. Now we've added 2, so we want to go through 2, so that'll be the top bead and the side bead. And then we want to go through our new top bead, so we're ready to add the next 2 beads. And as we're coming out away from our finish rows, we'll add them in this order. And we need a white and a green. Actually, the other direction, we want a green and a white, because we're going in this direction. So green and a white. So we will add green and a white. And as these are the last 2 beads of this row, we will be doing something slightly different. But first we want to go through the next 2 beads to make it 4 beads we've gone through. So we want the side bead and the previous top bead. And now, to begin our next row, we need to be coming out the second bead here. So 1, 2, the second side bead. This time it's nice and easy for us because 1, 2, so we just go down through that second side bead. And we're now in place to begin our next row. Now we are coming down along our row, so we're going to start here and add our 3 beads. So they will all be green. We're going to add 3 green beads. And as we have added 3 beads, we need to go through one more, which will be the side bead our string is coming out of. Oops. And then we go through the first bead we added. And now we're ready for our next set of beads, and we're coming away from our finished rows. So that means we want to add 1, 2, and they will both be green. Here we've added 2 beads, so we want to go through 2 beads. We want the side bead here and the previous top bead, which our string was coming out of. And now we want to be going through our new top bead, so we want to go through the 2 beads we just added. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we also want to go through the next side bead. And now we are on the inside. So as we added this direction, these will be adding this direction. So we need a green and a red. And we'll go through our other 2, which is the top bead of our current row and the side bead. And then we go through the new top bead to get ourselves in position for the next 2 beads. We're coming away from our finished rows, so we will add 1, 2. And that will be red, green. And now the next 2 beads we need is our side bead and the top bead of our current row. Then to get into position, we want to go through the 2 beads we just added. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we also want to go through the next side bead. And as we are coming out through the side bead on our previous row, we want to add 1, 2, and both of these will be green. Then we go through the current top bead and the side bead for this set. And now we go through our new top bead, which is the first bead we just added. And as we are coming away from our finished rows, we will be adding in this direction. So we need 2 reds. go through the side bead and top bead. And then we go through the two we just added to get ourselves at the top. Now this time we are coming in towards our current row, but we have no more side beads because we're adding the last 3 beads of this row. So as we're coming in towards our current or finished rows, we're going to add these beads in this direction. So that's going to be, we got to cross off the 2 we just added, and that's going to be on to all green, so 3 greens. And we want to go through the top bead we just, the top bead of the row we're currently working on. Then we want to work our way around so that we're on the side of our new row. So we want to go through all 3 beads we just added. And as we're going along our row, we will add the next 3 beads, 1, 2, 3. And we're coming out this, we're here. We're coming out right where our line ends, so we want to add 1, 2, 3, and they will all be green. And then we want to go through the bead that our string is coming out of. And now we want to work our way to the end here so we can add the first 3 beads of this row. So we go through all 3 beads we just added. And we're coming in towards our finish, so we're going to add them in this order. And we've added these 3, and now we're going to add these to be green, green, and a red. So we need 2 greens and a red. Then we want to go through, they came off, hold on. And we want to go through the, oh wait a minute. Oh yeah, I'm right. Okay, sorry. The one needle sometimes confuses me. We want to go through the top bead that our string is coming out of. Okay, now we have our first 2 circles for this row. Now we want to come to the top bead so we can continue our row. So we will go through the side bead and the top bead. And as we are coming away from our finished rows, we're going to add the next 2 in this direction. We've added the last 3 for this row, and we're going to begin the next 2 for it be green and red. So we want a green followed by a red. We'll go through the side bead for this circle and the previous top bead. Then we want to go through, get to the new top bead, so we go through this outer side bead, the top bead, and as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we also want to go through the side bead on our finished rows. And we've added these 2, and our string is on the inside where our finished rows are, so we want 1, 2 for the next set. And our next set is going to be all red. So we need 2 red beads. And we go through the top bead of our current row and the side bead that our string is coming out of. And then we go through our new top bead. We're now ready for the next set, and our string is coming away from our finished rows, so we will add that in this order, and that will be all green. So we need 2 green beads, and we will go through the side bead here that's part of this circle and the previous top bead. Then we'll go through the 2 beads we just added to get going through the new top bead, and as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we'll also go through the next side bead. And so as we're coming out through the side bead, we're going to add in this order this time. So we need a green and a red. Now we'll go through the top bead and the side bead our string is coming out of. And then our new top bead. And as our string is coming out away from our finished, we will add in this order. And they will both be green. And we'll go through the side bead that's part of this circle along with the previous top bead. And now, as this is the last 2 beads for this row, we want to be coming out the second side bead, so we will 1, 2 just go right down through the second side bead here. And as we are coming down along our row, we are going to add these beads in 1, 2, 3. So what we need is a red and 2 green. And then we go through the side bead. There are our 3 Now we want to continue down, so we go through the new top bead for this row, and our string is coming away from our finished work. So we're going to add 1, 2, and they will both be red. And then we want to go through the side bead and the current top bead. And now we want to get to our new top bead, so we go through the 2 beads we just added. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we also go through the next side bead. And now we add our beads in this order. And they will both be green. And we want to go through the current top bead and the side bead, and then we want to go through the new top bead, and our string is coming out away from our finished rows, so we're going to add in this order. And we'll be adding 2 green. And we're going to go through our side bead here and our current top bead. Then we want to go through the 2 we added to get to our new top bead. And as we're on the same side as our finished rows, we also want to go through the next side bead. There we go. And our next set will be added in this direction. And they also will be all green, so we need 2 green beads. Then we want to go through our side bead and our current top bead. Now our string is coming away from our finished rows. We'll add in this order. And we need a green followed by a red. We go through our side bead and our top bead, and now we want to get to the top again, so we go through the 2 beads we just added, and I'm going to, well, we still have quite a bit of string, so I'll go ahead and continue a little further. We're coming in towards, we're coming out towards, so we're going to add 1, 2, 3 for our last beads. We've added these 2, and we want a green, green, and a red. So we need 2 greens and a red. And then we'll just go through the end bead which our string is coming out of. And now we want to get to the other side. So we want to go through all 3 beads we just added. I think I'll just be adding the end of this next row and then tying off, because now my string is getting pretty short. So as we're coming along the row we just finished, we're going to add these in 1, 2, 3. So we finished here, and we want to start the next. We're going to add a red and 2 green. Then we will go through the bead that our string is coming out of. And as we need to add on the 3 end beads, we want to work our way around to this end. So we want to go through all 3 beads we just added. And as we're coming in towards our finished rows, we're going to add these beads in this order. We have added these 3, and we now need these 3, which are all green. So we need 3 green beads. And then we will go through the bead that our string is coming out of. Oops, I went the wrong direction. Okay, I can't believe I did that. Okay, you want to go through the bead in the same direction as the first time. Alright, now I gotta get these tightened up. Alright, now we're going to tie off, so we're just going to go through this side bead here so that we have some beads to work with for tying off, and then we'll go through the previous row and we will go up about 3 center beads and come back. So here, side, center, side, center. As you can see, we're weaving back and forth. You want to make sure to do that. And then we'll head back the same way, going through the side bead and then the center bead. And then you just clip off the excess. And we will continue in the next video. Hope to see you there.